17th, and his blood is boiling. This was the third for Rahm.
This is the reason you don't want to hit it in that bunker, because that shot is so difficult. Now this is even harder.
That comes up short. So the fourth for Rahm. Remember, he was the guy in contention last week before making a very curious decision to go for it in 2 at the par 5 11th.
That was a bad decision. This ball looked like it was buried.
So that's his fourth. So that slippery putt back down the hill for a bogey 5 for Rahm. We mentioned bogey the 16th. Again, he was 5 under. But a bogey at 16 and a double at 18. Back to 2 under, 7 back. 4 when he made that par at 15. Snake Pit strikes again. Third toughest 3-hole finish on the PGA Tour last season, the Snake Pit.
You worked hard all day and just coughed it up at the end. That's a frustrating feeling.
Over at the 14th, in with his third. This was just earlier. Remember, he hit that fairway metal, the seed as you called it, to put himself in position, but then he puts it up against the back fringe. So Sung JM disappointed with that third shot. Paul Casey leads by 2. Dustin Johnson at 7 under. Kokrak in at the 7 under number.
Second shot at 16 for Curtis Luck.
Slicing.
Luck able to piece together a nice 5 under score right now. So
Good.
Trying to reach the top half. This one will actually come right to the center of the green. Leaves about 30 feet to see if he can hold a putt for birdie. He's 1 under on the day. This is Sean Stephanie. After the par at 17. Now working the 18th. And when he has that right foot forward in the stance, he's trying to open up. See if he can play a little bit of a big shot. Joel Damon. Damon from the fairway at the 16th, 162 yards. And that one just slips off the left side. Second now at the 18th for Kramer Hickok. And pretty good shot into this green. It leaves Hickok a very reasonable chance at birdie. And he'll see if he can pick that up, and that'll move him to 2 under par. So Hickok, who had a nice start, then backed up, has a chance to end on a high note. Paul Casey controlling this leaderboard just as he did a season ago. 3 under in the round. Had a share of the lead coming into the weekend, and at 6 under to start. He's now at 9 under par, leading by 2 shots. There's a group of 4 players right now that are at 7 under. We get out to the par 3. Lucas Glover at 2 under par, working 17. And Glover, he will have a great look at birdie upcoming. It's a chance to move it to 3 under as we get back to our leader.
You just saw a perfect layup, second at the par 5 14th for the leader, Paul Casey, by 2. You also saw Scott Stallings make a birdie at 14 to get back within a couple. So there are 4 now tied for second at 7 under as we get you over to 16.
Dustin Johnson on the tee using one of these driving irons. I think a little easier hole for a guy who likes to move the ball from left to right. It's just a matter of how firmly it will bounce. Avoids a divot. And into first cut, no problem. Back at 15.
And here is Stallings after his 3rd birdie on this back 9. Like the front 9 plus 1 looked like he might fade from the first page of the leaderboard, but here he is in this tie for second.
There's a lot to ask out of an 8-iron, 218 yards. I know Kokrak hit 8-iron on there.
Well, if you know Scott Stallings, you know that his body has an entirely different look than it did last year. Look at what he did on Twitter. The first clip there from last year's Valspar. Second clip there, 50 pounds lighter. He said, one body, one life, never too late to go and be your best. He said he just got sick of being a little overweight, and he just dove into the diet, great nutrition. He says it's a great example for his kids, and it certainly has paid dividends for his golf game. Stallings had a high finish the very first time he played in this championship. They tied for third, and here he is in a tie for second now. In with a disappointing par at the previous par 5 14th. He hit that third long and settled for that 5. Here we go.
It's a good shot. Anything on the middle of that green.
So M is 3 back as we go back to 16.
And this was just a moment ago. The 1-year-old Joel David. This little chip from left of the green. And get this crowd. Patriots outpost is surrounding the green. Tough day for him though. He's +4. Back to 14.
And the third for Cook.
Safely laid up, 108 left. Only way to get this close is to hit something a little bit lower and skip it back there and stop it.
That's exactly right.
And see if it gets back there.
Did it? No, just as you would draw it up. It's a real gift to be able to knock down wedges. Clubs with all that loft on it.
So we'll see if Cook can bounce back again. He's already done it at least once earlier today in this round. Well, an all-new episode of Faraday comes your way on Monday, March 25th, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, where David asked Tony Finau about the influence of his father, who first introduced him to the game.
How does your dad, a man who knows nothing about golf, how does he teach you the game?
As a kid, being, I think, pretty vulnerable, I don't think I knew he didn't know what he was doing.
Right, 'cause he
I
was
know
down.
now.
Yeah.
I know now, you know, that's what being involved in the game now for over 20 years, but 7 years ago, I played golf. I was naive to the fact that my dad had no experience in this game of golf.
Your dad must have had some idea of what he was trying to tell you. Where did he get that from?
I don't know where he got the book or where he got the video, but our golf Bible was Golf My Way from Jack Nicklaus.
That's a pretty good one.
My dad learned that he was the guy. He's
Yeah.
the great, the best. So he wanted to learn from the best, and I believe he got that because of that.
You won't find a nicer guy on tour than Tony Finau, and you won't find a more interesting backstory than from Tony Finau. All new with Faraday, Monday on Golf Channel at 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Out here at 16, Dustin Johnson, second shot, just 181 yards. We'll watch this shot with Top Tracer, presented by Optum. Well, it's easy to miss this green left if you go too far. Okay, and that'll be just fine.
Now a little third shot here for the leader.
On it up that hill. Will it make it? That's pretty good.
Pretty good spot.
Go ahead. Oh!
And that will hang on. So Casey will have another chance for another birdie. His third of the last 4 holes. Maybe push the lead to 3. He shot that 65 in the final round last year to come back from 5 shots and win the Valspar Championship. He's the front runner right now on this Saturday.
Taking a look at the toughest holes here at the Copperhead course at Innsbruck Resort. Only 2 of the 3 in the Snake Pit are ranking among the top 5 and 17 absent from this list. But the 16th, very tough, only yielding 5 birdies, only 7 birdies for the 18th, and they both are giving up at least a quarter of a shot over par or close to a third of a shot over par. The average for the field as they have come through those very difficult holes. The third also proving tough, over 450 yards, the par 4 third, and we've only seen 8 birdies made there compared to 8 bogeys as well. So some bigger numbers coming through on the front side. Holes 3 and 6, along with the 9th, which we have seen our share of missed putts there. And then the scoring opportunities, there are par 5s these players need to take advantage of. And they have to do it as they come through on the front side. A pair of par 5s, about a third of a shot easier than the first and the 11. But that number shrinking quite a bit. At the 5th and 14th. Fifth rate yardage is over 600. And we've only seen about a dozen and a half birdies made there, 1 double bogey and 8 bogeys, which is a bit of a surprise. Tough sledding on the back 9 for these players. Nine under for Paul Casey with 5 holes to play. The 66 is in for Jason Kokrak, and he's part of a 4-way tie, sitting joint second. Sanjay M working the 16th now, so we'll see how he goes along with the rest of his day. Oosthuizen filing a 66 earlier, and he's hopeful that he'll be able to get out on Sunday and add to that number and challenge for the win, perhaps.
While we were away, Austin Cook for birdie at 14. Another bounce back it would be after the bogey at 13.
He's had a rough season on the greens, but it's been great this week.
So now we're live with Paul Casey to push it to a 3-shot lead, don't it?
And just putting on a clinic today. His ball striking has been on point. Strategy been awesome. Now he's put himself in a great position here to make another birdie.
There it is. Making it look easy, like you said, no. Casey to 10 under. He says he's never defended successfully a title as a professional. He won 3 Pac-10 at the time conference championships in a row in college at ASU, and that Stallings able to get that one down at 15. That was for par, stay at 7 under, and Sanjay M made par there as well to stay at 6 under now. 4 back as we go to 16.
Dustin Johnson surveying a lengthy putt for a birdie, just over 33 feet.
Gary, I thought that was a great play by Dustin. He hardens up here this afternoon in the severe angle of this green. That plays very shallow in terms of its depth, and to hit it basically pin high and give himself a look up this hill now with very little movement was a heck of a play. This putt should not have too much movement to it. I've got it going slightly left at the end.
Dustin has already made 3 putts over 25 feet this week. He's got to go.
He's not done a whole lot, Gary, today to make him more confident on the greens, even though he's missing no makeable chances Dustin Johnson has.
Johnny Long Socks McLaren, Casey's caddy, discussing the strategy here at the 15.
Very similar setup to the tee shot at 8, which Paul hit a beautiful shot. Started at the middle of the green.
The wind has switched since this morning.
That's normal around here. You get a little bit of a sea breeze out of the west.
He held this one back into the wind just a bit.
Somebody's going to go in. That's a little short, but it's on line. Up to 16.
And Dustin Johnson, short one for par to remain 3 back.
I watched him warm up this morning. He just hit wedges all morning. I mean, it was late morning, but he was just out there hitting wedges. Been doing that for a while, Gary.
He certainly has, and I think it's actually helped his full swing as well, Paul, because the rhythm that he uses for those short clubs worked into his long game as well.
So Kip Henley going through things with Austin Cook.
Yeah. I don't know if he flies 6 on much further than 195 or so, can he? Yeah. You just back it up and just hit it. I don't know.
It's really all about the distance you want to carry this thing in the air. Try to legislate for that.
I just can't imagine it that much faster.
Try to legislate for the bounce. So this is a 6 iron. It sounds like 2 more clubs than Scott Stallings and Kokrak hit.
I think Paul Casey was expecting a little bit of help and didn't get it. Maybe these guys are incorporating that. Just a nice solid 6 for Austin. He's tugged this one just a bit, but still might catch a piece of the green.
It does, and it's well back there. Not many guys have been back there saying,
No,
down the
that's
collar.
Terrific shot just to get it hole high.
Casey and Cook playing the final hole before the beginning of the Snake Pit. Casey by 3 in the Valspar Championship. Trying to go back-to-back here in Palm Harbor, Florida.
The birdie opportunity for Curtis Luck. This would be a big one. 3. Luck, hoping that one would fall, just sits right on the front edge. That one is one that you just saw his reaction. He thought it was going to keep working, and it comes up just short. A painful tap in there. Lucas Glover from the hill. Fans all around as he works the 18th. And Glover, a 158-yard play into the screen, sits right off the edge. And from there, we'll see if he can roll that in from the upper half. Roberto Castro now set to go. 150 for Castro. Castro, good spot on the green. And with that, we'll have a chance to pull the putt for birdie, and that will help some of the damage he suffered at 16 when he doubled the par 4. So Paul Casey trying to defend this title. It would be the first time for him professionally to be able to do that. Casey in a good spot right now. In the field and strokes gained, tee to green. We've never had a repeat champion here at the Valspar Championship, and Paul Casey is hoping to do that. The last player to repeat as champion at a PGA Tour event was Brooks Koepka at the U.S. Open this past season. But Casey thinks looking very solid right now. He's been able to pick up 8 shots against the field in strokes gained tee to green, so he has been accurate off the tee. The approach shots, some of the closest in proximity to the hole, and that is all paid off for Casey right now to hold that 3-shot lead. Let's get out to the play of Sungjae M, who's hoping to set up an opportunity.
Here at 16, so JM ready with his second shot. The most deliberate backswing on the entire PGA Tour. It's to work for him.
That wouldn't work for me. You know, I would panic halfway up.
Exactly, and start coming back down.
Yeah.
Go back to 15.
And Paul Casey looking this one over. Mentioned how he's not successfully defended any professional tournament. Won those 3 straight conference titles with ASU. He also won back-to-back English amateurs. He said, I would like to get this done. He's had a lot of chances over in Europe and a few here, but
It's hard to defend, I tell you that. This is a hard 2-putt. It's hard to get this to reach.
16 quickly we go.
Stallings out of the rough, heavy lie. just trying to hack it up, get it to run up onto the front of the green. Oh, here it goes. That's going to get through.
Yes, the snake pit versus the rest of the course. If you look at holes 1 through 15, scored a par, and then just alone in the 3 holes.
It's amazing.
This says 2000. Add up in a hurry at 16, 17, and 18.
That's an actual copperhead on the screen and
Ready to strike.
that's right.
Man, that was just depressing.
And here's Dustin in the middle of the snake pit, Dave.
Yeah.
He's going for this flag, it looks like.
Yeah, he is. Stay there. Yeah, that'll be safe enough. Good shot. Go back to 15.
And Cook, no doubt.
The way this putt sets up downhill left to right, it's just hard to get it high enough. Usually just leaks off a little bit on these guys.
One of the best looks that we've seen here, though. And that is never high on that.
That was a good 6 inches off line.
He's had a tough year on the greens, Noda, but not this week. He's in the top 10 strokes gained putting. If he keeps that up, he'll have a chance.
Austin Cook has had a little bit of a rough start, as we mentioned, at this calendar year, missing 3 cuts in 5 events. Never has really been outside of the top 50. And meantime, Paul Casey strokes gained putting.
Well, he's another guy that's way down the list for the season, but having a hot week. Tee to green, Paul Casey's been really, really good as well.
Just 1 bogey today for Casey. Came at the second to go along with 5 birdies.
215th from this distance.
By the way, Casey is a UNICEF ambassador. Very proud of the work that he's been able to accomplish for them. $100 for each birdie he makes, and so another $500 to UNICEF through the efforts of Paul Casey, who got involved there a couple of years ago. And Paul Casey also very involved with Ronan, a young man who is colorblind, and putting this out on his Instagram. They had a chance to play the 18th hole, and then he surprised Ronan with some chromic glasses that gave him the ability to differentiate some colors, and Ronan put those on and said, it is a whole new world. So great work being done by so many players on the PGA Tour this year. We saw Gary Woodland earlier in the year at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. These guys can touch lives and make a difference in just a very, very short period of time, and Casey the latest to do that. 17.
Bones, what has Dustin got here?
He's got about 22 feet, and this ball should jump left early and then try to straighten as it makes its way down the hole. Hit a heck of a shot at you. This is about as close as you're going to get this afternoon, I feel.
Good aggressive effort, you'd have to say. Meanwhile, back at 16.
Yeah, Stallings with his third. Nasty bird's nest lie, a lot of grass behind the ball. And it jumps out of there. So he'll have a good 15 feet left for par.
The snake is rattling here.
Yes, it is. Tough holes. We're ahead to 17.
I have been bitten twice by a snake. Not the same snake, but they give me the willies. Just the thought of it.
And where did the incident
PGA Championship in Europe. I was playing a practice round with my friend Sam Torrance, and he managed to trap the only poisonous snake in the British Isles. Is an adder, and he trapped it underneath his 2-iron and asked me to come take a look at it, and I did.
Wouldn't you know it, you and your buddy Sam Torrance getting in trouble.
Yeah, who'd have thought that?
Yeah.
2 weeks now.
Where'd he bite you, on the ankle?
Right in the end of my finger. You know, and there's only 2 ways you can get bitten by a snake. Either you can either be really unlucky or really stupid. Gotta give you one guess. We'll go to 16.
Paul Casey ready to play his tee shot. Dan, you mentioned John McLaren, Johnny Longsocks, his caddy. Remember, he was caddying for Luke Donald when Luke Donald won the Valspar Championship. So
yeah, the caddy carried sell.
Yeah, well, he's got 2 wins here because he was caddying for Casey last year when he won. So.
Stop, stop. You can say that Johnny Longside's also
Go
did
off.
So, no, I think he's smarter than that.
Oh, you got it. Kidding.
There's been a few getting bitten through here through the snake pit over the years.
See the double pine tree right there? He's gonna try to hit something off of that. Fade it off of that, maybe. There it goes. Will it fade? This is how you draw it up, Gary.
Yeah, just needs a soft bounce.
Oh no.
Needs a soft bounce. Lie appears to be okay, but that one he'll have to be careful. And up at the green, Stallings for his par. JM has missed his birdie putt. And Scott Stallings will have bogeyed the 16th round each of the 3 rounds that he's played.
It's that kind of hole. I mean, if you don't like that water on the right, you bail left. Today, challenge that water and got a terrible lie.
And so he's back to 6 under. Up to 18.
And Dustin Johnson getting ready to launch. He's got driver out. Time now to check out. Going for the green, presented by TD Ameritrade. And Dustin Johnson is always going to gain an advantage off the tee. This season versus this week. Driving accuracy 197. This week he's been a lot more accurate and staying strong and off the tee and at all drives, driving distance. Going for the green, presented by TD Ameritrade. Here is Dustin on the tee. 3 back in this tie for second, Bones.
Hitting a power cut, but it's overdone. Looks like it's headed for the right rough or the sand there.
Oh, he's in that middle bunker. That is a terrible place to be. He's not a long way from the hole. That's pretty deep.
The group ahead features Curtis Luck, who came to the 18th at 5 under. This is like a baseball swing for him.
Spring training.
Yeah. Oh. Does a full pirouette. And pulls off a great shot about a hole high. Another look at this.
Can't do that unless you get to your left foot.
Looks like he's taking BP. Curtis Luck having a good day, 1 under, trying to keep it going. Maybe he can save par at the last, stay within 5 of Paul Casey. His biggest lead of the championship by 3. Plays the snake pit.
Fucking movie.
At the 18th, here's Joel Damon. Just watch Curtis Luck try and work his way to the green. Now Damon. Damon at 184 coming in. And had to play out. He put himself in a tough spot, just as we saw from Curtis Luck. So he's at least got it on the green with a chance to see if he can hold a 19 or a 20-footer, let's call it, for par. 10 under for Casey as he enters the snake pit, working 16 now. Dustin Johnson, and that putt at 17, close to dropping, but he holds at 7 under. Austin Cook also hitting the entrance to the snake pit, as he's right now at 7 under par. Scott Stallings has put together a nice day. Sanjay M. and Stallings both working 17. Curtis Luck 5 under on the first page, 5 off the lead. As he works the 18th, he'll be scrambling with his 3rd shot from off the green to see if he can set up a par make. Dylan Vertelli at 3 under par. And the man from South Africa with a 67, so able to move up a bit. 4 under on this 3rd day after coming into the weekend 1 over par. Ten under leads right now for Paul Casey. 3 holes left. He's up by 3 shots and trying to take the lead into the weekend. Got a share of the lead at the halfway point, and now he's looking to hold it outright heading into the final round. And that is really the goal for Casey, is to not only get to Sunday with the lead, but finish Sunday with the lead. knowing how tough it is to defend any title on the PGA Tour, much less with this difficult track. But he has figured things out well here. He's been able to route his way around this golf course in a very positive way. This is a 19-footer for par for Joel Dahmen. And Dahmen missing left. So that will drop him to 1 over if he makes that putt. Curtis Luck also trying to scramble for par. So Dahmen unable to do so. And he will finish up with 5 on the card. A little disappointing, but he'll try and gather things for the final day.
Chilly start to the week. Golf course drying out big time, getting firmer and faster and tougher. And Paul Casey is getting tougher as well. 10 under, 3 clear of Dustin Johnson. Kokrak had an ace today, in case you just joined us. Part of his 66 to be a part of that 7 under group. And Luck trying his luck for par. That is a heck of a par from the baseball swing out the bunker. And he gives himself a chance. Remember, Paul Casey came back from 5 last year to win it with a 65. Back to 16.
Austin Cook, second.
From 208, not a great angle, Gary.
Well, he's asking for a good lie, so that means it's headed right. We'll find the green side bunker.
It was an awfully aggressive angle, Gary, and just didn't come off at all the way he wanted. Things are starting to dry out here.
And you see the champ on the back of Johnny Longsocks, on the back of his caddy bib. It's another one of the great options here that the players have this week. They can put any nickname they want on it. They can put a Twitter handle, social media handle on the back. Casey going for the simple, the champ, since he's defending.
Got to be careful, Noda, not to go long left here.
This is a hot lie.
Just tried to chip something out of there.
Yeah, he played that to jump, and he needed to because it looked like it was going to come out hot.
So, some work left if Casey is going to make par on the first hole of the Snake Pit at 16. We go to the 18th.
And Luke Donald has a string of pars going, Bones.
He certainly does, Danny, but right now the wind is playing tricks out here with him on 18, and he's backed off this shot twice. He's got 152 back up the hill into that wind, and he's going to play well over 160. Very important to pull the right club here with the flag just a few steps on the front of the green.
11 straight pars for Donald, who has this uphill shot of some 25 feet.
Good line, just right the hole.
Oh, beauty by Luke Donald.
We see some really good shots here at 18. They're all coming from the fairway. This will be all he can handle here.
121 and something tells me DJ would dearly love to make a birdie here and potentially get in that last group with Casey tomorrow.
Did that catch the... No, I guess not. I guess not. What a shot.
That sounded so good. All ball.
You know, he always has that kind of clicky sound anyway when he hits it even off of the fairway. And it had that same sound out of the sand. He just picked it perfectly. So Dustin Johnson and Luke Donald have it surrounded at the 18th. Can they pick up one final birdie to move a little closer to Casey?
Paul Casey, a great opportunity to pick up 500 FedEx Cup points, defend his title here. He has done a lot of things well over the course of 2 days and now into this third round. Close to that pin cut back and left at the opening hole. Now fairway at the 6th. Casey opening up with a birdie at the first, but gave the shot back on the next hole. So trying to set himself up for a birdie to move back to 1 under, which he was able to do. Turning in 35 and now with the par 5 at 11. Good shot that almost traveled all the way to the cup, but he would have a birdie from there. So 8 under his score at this point. 1 birdie to start the back 9 and get into 2 under on the day. And make it 3 under on the round after a great shot into 12. So from there, hold the putt, 9 under his score, and working the par 5 14th. And this gives him another chance to pick up birdie, and he would make that. So Paul Casey, as we project the numbers, if he were to pick up the 500 FedEx Cup points to go with a win here, he would move up 12 spots into the top 5. That would be big for the Englishman. Rory McIlroy, after hauling in 600 FedEx Cup points at the Players, he is on top of the Cup standings. One better than Xander Schauffele and Matt Kuchar. Both of those players have 2 wins this season, but Rory's had such an outstanding run of top 6 finishes to go with the win. He's number 1, and we can project Paul Casey into the top 5 if he were to hold on to the lead and come away with the win. Up to DJ.
Well, Bones was saying he could hit a good shot here, give himself a chance for birdie. That's exactly what Dustin Johnson did. Another look at this perfect pick out of the bunker.
Yeah, all I was thinking was, can he get it over that lip and still reach? And watch it, it dropped out of the blimp almost.
What a shot.
Came straight down. That is a gift. It's a real asset when a guy can hit a ball that high out of a fairway bunker.
And Dustin Johnson continues to just post good score after good score, even when he doesn't have his full arsenal. We saw it last week at the Players, but he's about to record his 14th consecutive round in the 60s, the longest of his career, and the longest on tour this season.
It's pretty impressive. Mainly the way he drives the ball. You just wonder how he could ever play badly. This is a 7-footer. He's 2 for 6 inside 10 feet. Between 5 and 10 feet, actually. So
Nothing easy about this right here. Zing really quick and turn into the left. This is a salty putt here. Got to match up everything perfectly.
That was a no doubt about it birdie for Dustin Johnson. Made even more impressive by the bunker shot to set it up. Bones said you had to match it perfectly, speed and line, and this was as good as it gets.
that would have gone in a thimble. Beautiful speed.
We saw Dustin pick up his 20th career PGA Tour win at the start of the 7 in a row that our crew is on at the Mexico Championship. 21 on the last leg here at Florida.
Austin Cook for his par at 16.
It was a decent bunker shot, Gary, but got away from it the last second. From the middle of the fairway.
Up at 18.
Luke Donald. What a Saturday this has been for Luke Donald. A guy in just his 2nd event of the year and just his 11th or so in the last year and a half.
He is some kind of scrambler, Luke Donald.
What a round. Hanging in there. 16.
For par. Casey, after a brilliant pitch from just short of the green, the lead remains 2 to 17.
And up ahead at 17, Sung Jae In. This is for par from behind the hole. Very difficult.
Yeah. The 20 from South Korea.
He continues to impress.
NHL's biggest stars shine bright on Star Sunday, first at 12:30 Eastern Time. The Flyers take on the Caps, and then at 8 o'clock, the Blackhawks and the Avalanche clash on NBCSN. NHL Star Sunday presented by AT&T. Back to 17.
Stallings now for par. No problem there. Him and Stallings negotiate the middle leg of the snake pit successfully. Back on the tee now.
listening, guys.
Clone postponed. I hate these. Fucking hate these.
Well, it's all fun and games until you get over the ball.
Like, say I grab 7, you think it's 8? Good answer. Are we kind of, is 10 cut too much? A similar shot 2 months ago.
How about that? Bruce Lee socks, David, on Johnny Locks. Like, you never know what he's going to go with.
Enter the Dragon.
He's in a fighting mode.
Which makes sense, that tee shot down 11 earlier.
Well, he's an average of nearly 40 feet from the hole in his career here at Colorado.
Oh.
He might come out with the snake socks tomorrow. Who knows?
Yes.
Copperhead pair.
Well, whatever the Sox do, his man's been impressive today. Just complete control of his golf ball. It's been fun to watch. I suspect he'll try and work this left to right back toward this hole. Hit it right at the middle of the green.
Yeah, good solid shot. No frills. Might have won one more club there. Something a little cutty.
That's just kind of what the golf course does to you, though, right? You get caught in between, you catch a gust of wind, or the wind lays down, and you got to play the percentages on where your ball should end up. And Casey's just been so good about it today.
Yeah, it can catch you out. You keep the right club in your hand when you take the club head away from the ball, it can be wrong at the top of your backswing.
And scoring conditions have been optimal. Casey's taken advantage, and Austin Cook has struggled just a little bit.
6 iron. Oh, he knew that on the
Foul ball right there.
He actually knew that halfway on his downswing. He knew that one was going right. That's the indecision there that he hadn't quite made up his mind whether or not that was the right club. But Paul Casey with a 2-shot advantage here as we head for the final stretch here in this, the 3rd round of the Valspar Championship.
As we take a look at the best shot from today, it was pretty easy. It came down to Jason Kokrak as he worked the par 3 15th pin cut of the high part of the screen. It came in, and as Kokrak was able to watch it on the TV monitor after the round, he said it looked like a putt when it was going in. That was pretty accurate because it just eased its way to the hole.
Go in.
So the ace for
Oh, fucking behind the cup.
birdie, eagle coming in to close in 30. Part of a round of 66. And Kokrak getting the 7 under par, so he's one of the players chasing Paul Casey right now. He is joint 3rd, or solo 3rd actually, on the leaderboard right now with that birdie that DJ made that broke the tie. And so Johnson is at 8 under within 2 of the lead, while Kokrak is 3 back. Luke Donald in with that 70. Donald winning here. Scott Stallings and M, along with Austin Cook, playing in that final group. They are all in that group right now. Par. Nick Taylor finishing with a 67. Jim Garrett, another Baas winner, as he carts the 68 today to go 3 under on the round. Good-looking leaderboard with players from around the globe. Got a couple of Englishmen in the top 4. South Korean, South African, Canada's Nick Taylor. They are all mixed in with a number of powerful players, including the world number one from the U.S., Dustin Johnson.
Well, they're setting up for the Brad Paisley concert tonight. Immediately following the golf, they've had Rascal Flatts, Jake Owen, Toby Keith in the past few years. The setup happening over there on the driving range, so the fans getting ready for that. And with that, we head down to Steve Sands.
Boy, Justin and I thought we were seeing all those people there for you. You're the number one player in the world, but they're actually there for Brad Paisley with a smile on your face. You're a big country music. You gonna beat the concert tonight?
No, I'm not gonna make it.
You got work to do. The birdie at last. How important is something like that to get yourself perhaps into the final group on Sunday with 18 to play?
Well, around here, birdies are good on any hole, but yeah, birdie in the last hole, it was a big birdie, especially if it gets me in that last group. I'm in a good position either way, going into tomorrow. But pleased with the round. I felt like I played really solid. Missed a couple short birdie opportunities, but other than that, I played really well.
I appreciate the time, Dustin. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's go out to 17.
And this was while we were away. Austin Cook, ball sitting up here. He's got no shot, right? He's got no shot from there. No. Right again. Played that beautifully. And this is live.
Pretty slow putt here, David. Going to come up and over a little tiny brow that pushes off this right part of the screen. And as it makes its way down, going to work a little to the left.
Good effort. There's the leader's touch right there. He will play with Dustin Johnson, barring an act of God or catastrophe at the last. Up ahead at the last.
And this was earlier, David. Second for Stallings from 122. Good drive, great position.
These guys are dead air with this flag the last hour or so.
Staring at it like he likes it. That is a gorgeous shot. Above the hole, just a tickler down for a birdie three for Stallings to get it at 7 under, back within 3. And while Austin Cook gets ready here, we'll remind you once again that the world's best women's amateur golfers will come together at Augusta National for a historic championship Saturday, April 6th. Don't miss the inaugural Augusta National Women's Amateur right here on NBC. And of course, right before the first major of the year, the Masters. And Sun J.M. for birdie at 18. He's been very solid on his back nine after a front nine.
Fucking hell.
He's never had that speed right.
Or line, really. He's mystified by that.
Back at 17.
Austin Cook needs this to stay 4 back. His putts become increasingly more difficult toward the end, though.
It certainly has. He needs us to have any sense of confidence headed in tomorrow.
First putt. .151 in the world is Austin Cook. He'll have a chance tomorrow.
That'll give you an idea, Zing, of the slope on this back to front 18th green. Stallings to get in at 7 under. Yes! Oh no! How did that veer left?
Oh, mackerel.
Was that ever close? Stallings had a high finish at Pebble Beach earlier this year. 3rd place. It was his best finish on tour in 4 years. And looking for another high finish like he did his rookie year here at the Valspar. Back to the tee at 18 is Casey. Leader by 2 over Dustin Johnson.
No layup here, guys.
No,
Go
ahead, no.
No, just been swinging it so well. Why would you lay up?
And that's headed right.
All these bunkers are in play.
Not a good spot, although Dustin Johnson hit a beauty.
He's one bunker behind where Dustin Johnson was, and he's got about the same size lip, Dan.
Up ahead is in for par. To join the rest of the 6-unders in, which include Donald. Lone bogey for Emma back nine, falls to 5 under, 5 back, and back on the tee is Cook. He keeps hanging in there after some errant shots, able to recover numerous times today.
This one needs to kick a little bit right.
Gave it the one-hander.
Just on the edge of the thick rough. So it's by 2. Playing the 18th. It's got some problems over there. Bunker, though.
Well, when we take a look at the winners from around the globe, they have ranged far and wide. England's Paul Casey, the defending champion. Adam Hadwin, striking for his first win on the PGA Tour. Charles Schwartzel, after a lengthy drought between victories, he was able to strike here in 2016. And John Senden, his second tour win coming here in 2014. It's nice to see Luke Donald back in contention as the 2012 winner rose to that #1 rank in the world after a thrilling win here in a 4-man playoff. A couple more from South Africa and Retief Goosen, as he won in 09 and 03. So, nation well represented, along with a pair from KJ Choi for South Korea. Paul Casey looking to add his name to the list of winners here once more, become the first defending champion to repeat. 2 shots between those two, Casey and Johnson. It's likely that we'll see them in the final group. Jason Kokrak, 7 under, very positive 6 under round, or 5 under round today as he carded a 66. A pair of past winners on the first page, and Donald and Fury. Paul Casey working with the lead, looking to wrap things up at the 17th. Casey, top 3 finishes so far this season. He was second at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, so he was contending there. Top 3 at the World Golf Championships, Mexico Championship. And so those 2 very solid finishes have him up in the FedEx Cup standings already. And a win here would boost his total, and he would make a move into the top 5.
Good-looking leaderboard shaping up for the final round of the Valspar Championship tomorrow. Once again, Golf Central pregame at noon, and then live golf on Golf Channel, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, continuing right here on NBC at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Beautiful day, winding down here, close to the 6 o'clock hour here on the west coast of Florida. Paul Casey would love dearly to win back-to-back titles at the Valspar Championship. And he is now dealing with some issues in the bunker down there. But Cook is first to play, just on the left edge. Noted?
Yeah, ball just crept, well, not quite, but it's about half into the primary rough and half sitting on the first cut. So a little bit to consider here. Zinger, not too much. Should be able to get the club on the ball cleanly at impact, but just the follow through might get restricted.
He's got a
preview on Casey,
yeah. Casey was 3 or 4 feet from the face of the bunker, so he's going to really have to consider how much loft he wants to get on this shot to see if he can get it all the way to the hole. He actually hit a similar shot here earlier in the week from this exact same spot, basically, and hit it very nicely.
He's got to take enough club to get over the lip first, and then can he reach the green with that club? If you take the club to get it over the lip and then try to squeeze it out of there because you want to reach, that's when you bring the lip back into play. So he's just got to commit to whatever this is, hit it as high as he can.
So he's still sizing things up over there. Cook will play first.
key here is to fly that ball at least 5 or 6 yards on the green. You don't want to hit it in that bunker. Going with the launch 9-iron.
Yeah, I think the 9 brings in the front bunker, which I'm not sure that's the wisest choice.
You can hear Kip Henley say, "Get on this."
Get on it.
He did get on it.
Launching it up, bad and short. And out of its pitch mark, thankfully.
Yeah, it's actually now it's not that difficult. He's better off there, I think, than he was in the back of that green. But I was expecting that to bury in there, but these bunkers are perfect.
All right, the champ is getting ready.
And Zinger, there is maybe a mile or 2 extra wind, which,
yes,
under most circumstances, I wouldn't consider much of an issue. But when you're hitting uphill, coming out of a bunker, which is just going to spin, it's really going to accentuate the resistance. This is a high pop fly to right field.
He came in rather heavy.
He did what he had to do, though. He got it over that lip.
Delicate little pitch for Casey coming up to try to stay at 10 under.
Casey trying to figure out what it's going to take to get up and down and in the cup for 4 here at the 18th. Austin Cook, meanwhile, playing in the final group, and Cook is at 6 under. He's 4 off the lead. He began this weekend with a share of the lead, but now trailing by 4 shots. Has not finished in the top 60 in any of his last 5 starts, so there is certainly some concern, but this is a very good sign of progress, even though he's not able to keep up with the co-leader. Second start here at this event, he was T40 last year, so this is quite an improvement, and he'll take that. So Casey, when you take a look at his stroke skiing tee to green, that's really where he's made his mark this week. He has been better than the field by 8 shots as he has worked from tee to green, and then on the green, certainly effective. He is now just trying to size up what is left here. The 18th, we know how tough it can be, the finishing hole of the snake pit. Casey driving it to the right and then having to play out with that difficult lie in the bunker. So now looking at about 100 feet to work with, maybe a little bit less than that. But he'll try and see if he can get it up in the air and get it over the hazard.
Paul Casey sizing up his 3rd to the 18th with a 2-shot lead over Dustin Johnson. Another look at his shot.
This is really cool how close he gets this ball to come over that lip. It just skims the grass. Sounded good. It was just a hair heavy, or else he just wanted to put it in this spot.
You know, sometimes we all these shots for granted. Seeing our crew is amazing. Our guys in the truck replays and giving you that perspective to see how close and how tough that shot was. So you got it out of there. Now it's time to try to get it up and down.
Oh, it's on the lip. Oh, nice, Mike. Really nice.
That'll be a tough one.
Cook, who came up short.
And like you said, very lucky that the ball came out of its pitch mark. Now is a nice uphill lie. Has not been great out of the bunker today. Got a couple up and down, but it's because he made long putts, so needs to just carry this on the front edge.
It's a strange looking setup. Hips left.
So a couple of par putts from Cook and Casey to close out this 3rd round. Cook in a big spot in his young career. Had a good opening year on the PGA Tour last year. Last year made 24 cuts and 29 starts, had 3 top 10s and a win as a part of the 2018 season, the RSM Classic. So wasn't used to missing the cuts that he missed earlier this season, but has turned it around this week at the Valspar for sure. And this is going to be a big spot for Paul Casey tomorrow as well. Seeing when you look at the fact that he's going to be in a final group, the #1 player in the world. It's been well documented that Casey would like to improve on his record of 54-hole leads and final round performances after those.
Yeah, he's like 1 of 5 or 1 of 6. And in this case, only 3 of the last 11 players with the 54-hole lead have been able to win here. And it's a tough course to sleep on the lead, especially when Dustin Johnson's trailing you. Some good players back there. But Paul Casey, he's really been the star of the show.
Yeah, he's been the steadiest of everybody. Opened up with that 70. He was 4 shots off the first round lead, which was a couple of 66s turned in. Since then, it has been Paul Casey's tournament. He's been the steadiest every day, including today. And this for par to take a 2-shot lead into the final round.
A very delicate look here. Straight downhill, straight down green. Gotta respect the speed.
Gave it a great stroke.
Paul Casey missing it to the right. That's going to cost him a shot. And you can see just along the right edge. So Casey will bogey the last. That'll move him back to 9 under par. And we'll just see a shot separating the top 2 players on this leaderboard. But it will still be Casey and Dustin Johnson in the final group. Austin Cook just getting ready to pick a line. Both he and his caddy making sure they got a good feel for this one. Once they put that ball in play, remove the coin, and he has the caddy stepping in behind the player if he is at address. And now Cook set to go to see if he can save his par. So 6 under is what he's hoping for. That would mean he would stay within 3 of the lead for par, and he will miss on the top side. So he will drop back to 5 under par. So Cook, both players will lose a shot here at the 18th. So the snake pit biting a couple of players on the way into the clubhouse once again. And the bogey for Paul Casey, a 68, as he gets to the clubhouse with that 9 under score. And he'll still hold the lead heading into the final round, but it is down to just 1 stroke between first and second. Really, for that matter, just a shot separating the top 4 positions on this leaderboard. The Copperhead course once again proving just how difficult a test it is. And for Paul Casey, he knows how to win here. He did it a season ago. He's hoping to do it again on Sunday. Back-to-back titles here. It is possible, but Louis Oosthuizen and plenty of other players are thinking, well, they can get to the top of the leaderboard. Dustin Johnson lead to 8 under par after carding a 4 under 67. You know that he'll be certainly part of the story. You can log on to PGAtour.com, check all the scores from this 3rd round, highlights, analysis. Take a look at that ace from Jason Koprak. Again, it's all waiting for you at PGAtour.com. This concludes the PGA Tour's 3rd round coverage of the Valspar Championship from the Copperhead course at Innisbrook Resort in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Juventus maakt zich op voor de confrontatie met Ajax. Juventus tegen Empoli. Zaterdag live op Ziggo Sport Select.
Als slaapvee weet ik dat het perfecte matras haast onvindbaar is. Tot nu. Emma, verkozen Nederlandse topproduct van het jaar. Niet te zacht, niet te hard. En je kunt 100 nachten proef slapen. Don't worry, sleep happy. Emma, bestel nu online. Emma, het matras voor iedereen. Nu in alle betere bedwinkels. Vind niks bij zijn winkel nu online.
Fuck.
Wil je geen uitzending meer missen van je favoriete club, competitie of sport? Met de Follow My Sports optie binnen de Ziggo Sport Totaal app gebeurt je dat zeker niet. Je kan ermee zelf kiezen welke sportprogramma's of clubs je wilt volgen. Voordat de uitzending begint, krijg je dan een alert. Het instellen is heel simpel. Open de Ziggo Sport Totaal app. Ga naar instellingen, vervolgens naar Follow My Sports en stel je favoriete clubs, sporten en koersvoorkeuren in. Met Follow My Sports hoef je geen uitzending meer te missen. Alle hoogtepunten van de wedstrijden gespeeld dit weekend in de hoofdklasse hockey. Zondag op Ziggo Sport Select.
Jack van Gelder.
Hier heeft ook iemand gezegd.
En Frank Evenblij.
Frank, echt zonder jou. Nee, dat was het.
Brengen met duidelijke taal.
Dat gaan we beleven.
En ongezouten meningen.
Mijn verwachtingen waren niet...
Een ongecensureerde pep-talk. Iedere maandag live op Ziggo Sport Select.
The PGA Tour is proud to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup.
Oh, sure.
Today, live final round coverage of the Baas Championship. A beautiful Sunday here in Palm Harbor, Florida, with this final round of the Baas Championship. The Copperhead course, oh, so tough once again. The course average, as we have seen over the first 3 rounds of play, has played to an average of about a full shot over par. It's stretching 7,340 yards when it's pushed all the way back. Today, a bit more favorable. Temperature 80 degrees, light winds, and a little cloud cover overhead. As Copperhead is stretching to about 7,100 yards.
Out at the 15th, this was just earlier. Charlie Hoffman with a 7-iron. Working on a 2-under day. 3-under for the championship. Said get going, and it did. And Charlie Hoffman that close from reaching 4-under. So the winds are up, different direction every round seemingly, just adding to the difficulty of the Copperhead course. Paul Casey trying to put it away and become the first back-to-back winner in the history of this championship.
Joaquin Neiman is at 17, and a look at birdie. And Neiman with a long putt as well upcoming. This one doesn't have nearly as much arch in it as we saw from the putt of Glover on the 14th. But this will cover pretty good distance. Neiman from the front portion, identical number, 65 feet. About the same that we saw from Glover, according to shot length. And that one just peels off to his right. So about 4 feet of work left for Neiman. Now the eagle try for John Rahm. He's alongside Glover, and he might have gotten a little bit of a feel from this area of the putt right here. And he certainly came close to holding that.
Both Casey and Johnson just in front of the green at the par 4 6th, Riddler thirds.
Oh, man.
Casey would be looking to make another putt. This one to save par. Up ahead 7.
Who you stays on? This one's on 23 feet down the hill.
Fucking game.
So have some speed. Well, hang on. Get above the holes here on this Copperhead course. Downhill, down green, speedy putts. So that's 6.
Now it's Dustin's turn.
Great touch to go with his big time powers. The reason he's the best player in the world.
What was that touch?
Pretty good.
Should save it. As we head to 14, this is an eagle try for John Rahm.
This could be a sign of things to come here as these groups show up later in the day with the same kind of firepower as well, maybe more. Did he do it? Oh!